Welcome to Fortune Cookies Tarot. I'm Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner and psychic for over 35 years. And in this video, we're going to do something neat. We're going to do a little bit of an informative, interesting collection of totem animals. There's a reason why I'm doing this. So, recently, those of you that are into cats and kittens, you know that we had a feral cat that took a shine to me specifically, had her kittens on my front porch, and we're now we have a little cattery in our lanai, which we usually go out there and have cocktails in the evening, smoke cigars and whatnot. You know, it's a happening place, right, Greg?
Yes.
It is a happening place. So whenever you get an animal, like, it kind of changes the energy dynamic in your house. And this certainly has been an interesting dynamic. Now, last night, Ella and I came home, and for the second time, the mama cat has escaped.
Displacer beast.
Displacer beast. We don't know how she got out. I have always been one of those people. I said, "Oh, we have magical kittens." When Cutie Patootie had her litter last year, we discovered the kittens running through our yard. And I said, "Magical kittens." And Greg goes, "They're not magical. They're somebody else's kittens. They're not ours." They are definitely our cats now. They have claimed us. But I do think that we do get animal magic and animal wisdom sometimes. And sometimes animals will show up and give us some blessings, or show up for reasons. A lot of people believe that cardinals are dearly beloved that are showing back up. Some people think the same thing about dragonflies. Now, I've been kind of sitting on the cat thing. Like, I've always liked cats. So, I've been sitting on the cat thing. But today I was on a video call with one of my friends and they got dive bombed by an eagle. Now, it is very rare to have an eagle dive bomb you. If they're doing that, they usually think that you're food. So I had to look up the eagle connotation. If you stick around to the end of the video, you're going to find out about that eagle situation. So I pulled up some random animals, totally random, and I want to talk about what their magic is. So I actually made a slide deck. I'm like very professional here. So we're going to bring up first El Gato. Mój chat. Eto koshka, Maya koshka. What'd you say? Kitty? Kitty. So some fun information about the cats. And the reason I'm telling you guys this is, if you encounter one of these creatures, perhaps they're going to bring some good luck and exciting things into your life. So I did create this lovely cat on ChatGPT. I was going to have her look like Cutie Patootie, but that's fine. She doesn't. But esoteric symbolism for this particular animal, they do represent intuition, mystery, and sovereignty. The esoteric symbolism specifically has the cat embodying a sacred feminine, independent, and it's also spiritual guardianship. It is the watcher at the edge of the veil. And now I have 4 on my porch. They see beyond what others notice. And I will say this, I am a caregiver in my house. I am always trying to make sure that everyone is happy and healthy. I love to entertain. And I think that Cutie Patootie was brought to me because I did need a little second in command there. I need a lieutenant, despite having 3 cats in the house. I'm servant to them as well. And Raven, my Raven, but she's Greg's totem. Magical associations with this particular beastie. It's elements of water and spirit. The qualities are subtlety, curiosity, mystery, and independence. People that are not fond of cats are typically not fond of people having a lot of independence and not having that codependent, symbiotic kind of nature with them. So the totemic power, it protects the home, enhances psychic ability. Woohoo! We got that 4 score, and moves between worlds with ease, which is one of the things that she's been doing in the lanai.
Pleasure beast.
She has been going from her domesticated self to back to her wild self. My main concern with that is that she is going to run into Elon Muscat or Orange Julius or Cheshire, and we're going to be back in the kitten cycle. So she's still nursing. I still can't have her spayed. We're working on it. I just want her to finish nursing. Some lore in Celtic mythology, cats were considered fairy guardians and protectors of treasure. They were revered in Scottish lore as magical beings associated with the other world. So very consistent with us. Lots of people know in ancient Egypt, cats were sacred to Bastet, the goddess of protection, fertility. Please, no more fertility with these cats, and the home. In Japanese folklore, the Bakaneko, did I say that right, Greg?
Close enough.
Bakaneko and the Nekomata are magical cats with supernatural powers.
Is that the beckoning cat?
I don't know.
No.
That's all I got on it. So we're going to move on to the Dragonfly. And this was one of my girlfriends when I was telling her about what my idea was for my content today. She said, I get chased by dragonflies all the time. They always show up. And I told her, I said, dragonflies, I actually had a dragonfly on my daughter's invitations for my baby shower when I was pregnant with her. And it is the releasing of this esoteric knowledge. It's an uncovering of esoteric knowledge. It also represents transformation, light, illusion. The symbolism represents swift transformation, adaptability, and the illusion of form. It embodies the movement between spiritual dimensions. So a little bit different from this world, that world, it is spiritual dimensions. Association, the elemental association is water and air. The qualities are lightness, agility, ephemerality, and awareness. So it really is about being this wispy, kind of exciting energy source that can kind of float between different things. Rock in a hard place.
Dragonfly?
Dragonfly, yes.
I've seen a housefly.
So the totemic power, it helps uplift emotional heaviness. It brings clarity and reveals hidden truths, including that esoteric knowledge that you may not be recognizing. In lore, Native American or indigenous cultures, dragonflies are spirit messengers, and we do hear a lot of that in the United States. They symbolize change and swiftness. In Japanese culture, they are symbols of courage, happiness, and victory. Nordic traditions, which I didn't even know they had dragonflies in the Nordic states. Dragonflies are seen as watchers of the land, and they bring bridging the realms of fairies and spirits. So again, it's that interdimensional kind of spirit. Let's talk about this little stinky guy, the skunk. So what does the skunk represent? Self-respect, boundaries, and confidence. So we actually, Greg and I knew a gal when we were growing up, and they had a deodorized skunk as a pet. And do you remember that?
No.
Jadine, they had a deodorized skunk. I was so jealous.
No.
They also had a raccoon at one point.
I know they had a bunch of wild animals you weren't supposed to have as pets, but that was like during the 80s and 70s.
Yeah, it was during the 80s and 70s and 80s. But it was just like a cat. It was very similar to a cat. So the symbolism, he teaches us to hold on to our power silently and demands respect without confrontation. Respect without confrontation. Magical associations are the earth. That's the element. Qualities are presence, reputation, sovereignty. The totemic power teaches us energetic defense and non-violent power. That means standing in your own power. Just smile and wave, smile and wave.
Being silent but deadly?
Being silent but deadly. In lore, Native American medicine, the skunk is a symbol of self-esteem and how one's energy is perceived by those around them. In Appalachian folklore, for you in the United Kingdom or beyond, the Appalachians are a mountain range that run down the East Coast. It's a very famous range. A lot of people will go run the Appalachian Trail. They'll hike it. It takes, I think, 2.5 months to actually do it, but some gal just finished it in a few weeks. So impressive enough. But in Appalachian folklore, where there is a certain kind of magic that they practice there. It is a deep cultural magic there. Skunks are seen as omens of warnings, but also protection when encountered respectfully. So keep that in mind the next time you see a skunk. One of the cool things about skunk, we have a lot here in where we live in New Jersey, and I did not realize this, but they eat a lot of grubs, so they'll hang out around like swampy areas. And I always thought it was the skunk ferns that are there, but it's actually the real skunks. So let's take a look at our next animal totem, the weasel.
Pauly Shore?
It's not Pauly Shore. The weasel represents discernment, stealth, and secrets. His esoteric symbolism, he is actually a seer like me. He is a master of quiet strategy, and he uncovers truth through observation. Look at how cute he is. They do go to ground. The associations with magic are element of air. The qualities are sharp perception, secrecy, and subtlety. The totemic power allows you to perceive what others hide and move through unseen realms. So if you encounter one of these little guys, it is allowing you, it is granting you the power to perceive what others hide and conceal. In Celtic lore, weasels are considered spirit guides who hold ancestral secrets. In Greek mythology, weasels are associated with childbirth and midwifery. And Slavic superstition, weasels are often omens and familiars that guard hidden treasure. Very, very cool. So this is an unusual totem animal. The donkey.
Donkey.
Donkey. Everybody loves Donkey from Shrek. So donkey is humility, service, and strength. Esoteric symbolism, donkey reminds us that sacred service often goes unrecognized. It is a totem of quiet endurance and divine burden. The elements are associated with earth. A lot of our hooved creatures are associated with an earth element because they are so firmly planted on the ground. Qualities are patience, humility, and devotion. Look at how cute he is. Totemic power carries sacred tasks with devotion and strength. In lore, in Christian lore, this is easy. The donkey carried Mary and Jesus, and it symbolizes peaceful and divine purpose. In Celtic lore, the donkey is a protector of sacred places. And in Buddhist and Hindu teachings, the donkey can represent karmic service. So it may be the burden that you have earned. So talking about Hindu, we're going to talk about the coo or the cow. I know, the coo. Cows represent fertility, nurture, and sacred provision. Remember, I said nurture, not nature. Esoteric symbolism, the cow is the earth mother, provider of nourishment, patience, and maternal care. She's overflowing with milk. Our magical associations, again, hooved creature. It is the element of earth. Qualities are nurturing, abundance, patience. The totemic power sustains emotional and spiritual health and is the provider of sacred resources. So very, very nice. We are getting sacred resources from our gal, Bessie. In Celtic belief, the white cow led souls to the other world. So as we transfer to the next world. In Hinduism, and lots of people know this, cows are honored as symbol of life and divine generosity. They are sacred. In ancient Egyptian myth, Hathor, the sky cow, was the goddess of joy, love, and motherhood. So if cow is your totem, it's a really sweet totem. Now, this is one of my favorite animals, the bear. I have a fun bear story from when I lived in Lake Tahoe. If you may catch it one day in one of my videos. Scared the pants off me, let's put it that way. The bear is protection, introspection, and healing. We do have the bear represented in Lenormand, and in some tarot decks, they do fancy a bear in there. So it is represented in cartomancy, certainly. The esoteric symbolism is inner power, retreat for wisdom, and guardianship of soul truth. The elements it is associated with are earth and spirit. So he has his feet on the ground, but he has his spirit in the sky. Qualities, strength, introspection, healing, and sovereignty. Nobody messes with the bear. Totemic power. It awakens the healer within. It teaches reset before rebirth. So if you encounter some bear energy or some bear totemic suggestion, this may be a rebirth for you. You may be leveling up. You may have to fight and claw your way through it, but you may be leveling up. In Native American culture, we do see the bear represented quite often, and it is revered as the medicine keeper and as the spiritual guide. And I do have my animal spirit cards, and I will do readings with this probably next week. But bear is one of the most important cards in that deck. In Celtic legend, our Tio, the bear goddess, was a symbol of protection and sovereignty. And in Norse mythology, berserkers channeled bear energy in battle for unstoppable strength. There's really, if you're, there was that whole thing that went around, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a bear or a man? I don't know. I'm climbing a tree. I'm doing that whole thing.
Don't go to trees. Bears can climb trees. They love trees.
Throw some berries at them.
Hey.
Moving on. So we're going to go deep into the ground, and you can see he's represented on the caduceus in the background. Snake is an incredibly potent totemic power. It represents transformation, the shedding of the snake, healing as it self-heals, and sacred knowledge. The snake represents the life and death rebirth cycle and the power of inner alchemy. It's a little bit different from the phoenix because the snake is a bit more terrestrial and doesn't actually go through the phoenix's process of burning up and turning into ash. Its elements are fire and earth. Qualities are shedding, rebirth, vitality, sacred wisdom, slithering through troubling areas. Totemic power awakens Kundalini energy and guides deep transformation. So if snake shows up for you, that means that you are either about to light up psychically, spiritually, and really make those connections. The Kundalini energy goes right up all of those energy centers in your spine and connects you to the earth and to the spirit. So really, really important energy here. Some of the lore about snake, Native American traditions, the snake is the bringer of rain and fertility. In Celtic myth, it is tied to healing wells and the ancient druids. In Greek tradition, the rod of Asclepius symbolizes the snake.
Shelpus.
What was that? A shelpus? Is that Greg said a shelpus? All right, close enough. We're not Greek. We need K. We need our Greek goddess. It symbolizes snake as a healing force, and that is why we do see it included in the caduceus. So some interesting things about snake. I am not a snake owner myself, but I find snake energy is quite complementary for some of us. Moving on, we're going to talk about this character. And this is, I think, our final one. But like I said, I was on the phone with one of my very, very good friends, one of the cherished friendships in my life, and they were dive bombed by an eagle. And I said, "Ooh, that's good totemic power. That's amazing magic that just landed on you." So the eagle represents vision, sovereignty, divine messages. The eagle represents spiritual truth, higher vision, and divine connection. It is the bringer of clarity and a leader among totems. It allows the person that was granted this magic to soar above and look down and get a greater eagle eye view of the situation and to lead those that need leadership through their vision. The element is air and spirit, super lofty. qualities, clarity, courage, leadership, vision. All of these things are empowered. All of these things are strengthened. The totemic power leads with dignity and insight. It encourages transcending drama and seeing the big picture. You like that?
Yeah.
In Native American culture, eagle is the messenger of the Great Spirit. Now, in Native American culture, this is their God source, spirit, universe, whatever your calling and training you have it described as. So this is really that connection to the greater voice from above that drives and guides us. In alchemy, it represents spiritual ascension and the soul's purification. So again, this is, if you are encountering this spirit, it is bringing you to another place. Celtic myth, eagles were symbols of royalty and cosmic justice. So super, super interesting. So I do want to say that, sacred creatures do not just walk on the earth. When they walk on the earth and they encounter us, that's the universe kind of bludgeoning us over the head and saying, hey, pay attention to this magic. But they move through myth and energy and dreams for us. So you may be dreaming about these animals. You may be and creatures. You may encounter one on your car. You may be driving down the road and see an armadillo. And what does armadillo mean? It's protection, just so you know, because it's got that beautiful armor on.
I thought
but
your stomach was showing.
Your stomach. So they may you walk with alignment and in their guidance and awaken that totemic wisdom within you. We can encounter these kinds of creatures all the time. Greg and I are very fortunate. We live in the country and we have coyotes that walk through our yard. We have wild turkeys that walk through our yard on moss. They're huge. They're like 3 feet high. We have hummingbirds. We have cardinals. We have blue jays. We have rabbits. We have wild cats. We have deer. We pretty much have it all. Hedgehogs. We have groundhogs. Sorry, I didn't mean hedgehogs.
Possums. Not possum that crawled up your leg that one time.
We did. A baby possum crawled up my leg one day when I came home, and I was actually on a call with Greg, and I had to switch it over to video call. It literally crawled on my foot. It was a baby possum. It was like this big. It was the most cutest thing I've ever seen. Possums are awesome because they have such a low body temperature that rabies won't seat in them. Yes. And they also eat all the ticks. So we like that here at our house. So we also have snakes and frogs and toads and all kinds of good stuff. So
yeah, a chicken that exploded in our yard once.
We did have a chicken that exploded in our yard.
Well, we have the hawks.
So I said hawks. Yeah, but I have a hawk feather from one of the hawks when he was dining in our yard. That's how chickens explode in our yard. They go pick them up at our neighbor Bill's house, and I guess they eat them in our yard. It's, I guess, fine dining down here. We have that lovely gazebo, and they see all the partying going on Gregtoberfest. So I hope you learned something new today, and I hope that you have a new appreciation for some of the animals that may be seen or represented as negative things, like snakes and skunks and weasels. Like, they're all good creatures, and everybody has a purpose in this world, except for wasps. We don't like wasps. They have no purpose whatsoever. We have those too. Yeah, we have the what was the Asian wasp called, Greg?
It's the murder hornet.
We have the murder hornets. They're about this big, and they're like little remote control planes. They're the most horrible thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
I think I have to report that because they're not known to be up here.
Okay,
well, invasive species that started down in Georgia, I think. Now they're up here.
Okay, well, I'll report it. I don't know to whom, but I will report it. That is a totem creature that I don't want to get involved with. So, and we had one in our kitchen. So I hope you guys learned something today. We'll be back to regular schedule tomorrow. So you'll get 2 for Tuesday tomorrow, and I'll probably break up the requests for Mixtape Monday. But this is my Mixtape Monday Memorial Day offering. I hope you find amazing animal energy today in your world. And we will see you. When are we going to see him again, Greg?
In the future.
In the future.